In just 57 days, I generated $110,000 online as what I call a scaling operator. And no, this isn't just some made up term to sell you some course. 2 years ago, I was jumping from business model to business model, making practically nothing, and furious because I really wanted to make money online. And then I discovered this business model that nobody was talking about at the time, where you help course creators and coaches scale their business. Craziest part is I only worked with a handful of clients. I didn't need my own audience at the time on social media, and I'm not spending 12 hours a day taking sales calls. In the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna break down exactly how this works, why it's flying under the radar and nobody's talking about it, and how complete beginners are using this business model to hit 10K per month without any special skills. So let me show you what I mean. So here's some quick screenshots showing you this is from January 1st to January 31st, doing $54,000 with a record day of 12,600, and then February 1st to February 28th, doing another 55,000. So that's where the 110K in 57 days comes in. So what actually is a scaling operator? A scaling operator is basically somebody who partners with a course creator or a coach or somebody selling some sort of digital product or service online, and you're going to help them grow. This is what a scaling operator is. Now, the way in which you're going to help them grow is a combination of multiple things, but it's by implementing systems that convert their audience into customers. It's by helping them build an even bigger audience. It's by helping them manage the back end of their business, like funnels, emails, sales calls, things like that. And it's by scaling their revenue, making them more money, and in exchange, getting a percentage. And unlike a lot of traditional agencies that are out there being taught, like SMMA and all that stuff, that usually charge flat retainers, as a scaling operator, you usually earn your money through revenue shares, which is typically 10 to 20%. So for example, you might work with a fitness coach that is making 10K per month online right now. And you work with them, you look at their business, you're able to solve certain things inside of their business to help them grow, whether that's creating better content on social media, whether that's improving their sales process efficiency, or whatever it is, whatever they need to grow. And then let's say they grow from 10 to 30K per month and you're getting 20% inside of their business, then you are now getting paid about $4,000 per month because you earn a revenue share. And the reason this model works really well in 2025 is it goes off of the back of the fact that the creator economy is exploding right now. The online education industry is projected to reach $300 billion by 2029. And unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably noticed that every single day you're seeing new creators or influencers or whatever, whether it's teaching how to make money online, whether it's fitness, whatever it is, there's new people coming about every single day. And these people are usually selling something or creating generational wealth for themselves with their audience. And so you can use this fact that this is going to keep growing over time to capitalize it and position yourself well. And on top of that as well, platforms like WAP are now making it easier for anybody to sell digital products. And what this means is more creators, which means more people that need help growing their business and scaling, which means more demand for you as a scaling operator. And if we look at somebody like Iman right here, who you might have seen on YouTube, if you don't know who he is, he's basically a trailblazer inside of the make money online space. Whenever he talks about a business model, people start doing it and people start flooding to it. He recently partnered with WAP. He is now a co-owner of WAP. So he's basically pushing this concept of people starting digital products, people building audiences on social media and selling some sort of product or service. And that just means for you, you can capitalize on this by more people needing help scaling their business. So on top of that as well, there's a bunch of problems with current business models that people are talking about from time to time. So people still talk about SMMA, people still talk about growth operating, people still talk about being a freelancer. All of this stuff isn't bad and you can make money with it, just like you can make money with any business model, but it's about what's optimal and it's about what is in demand right now. And SMMA, you have client churn issues, you have low retainers. A lot of people run their SMMA working with local businesses, and there's limitations with that. It's just not working out very well. And same with growth operating. Growth operating was a business model that really boomed in 2024, and people talked about that you can just go out to creators and help them build communities and get 50% of their business. But this is just unrealistic. Nobody's going to give you 50%. People might give you 5 or 10%, but at that point, when you're building an online community and you're having to send thousands of people inside of that community, you don't really get paid much at all. It's an oversimplified approach. And then freelancing, you're still trading your time for money, and there's still some sort of income ceiling. And same with things like sales, same with things like drop shipping. Like, these are all pretty good business models. I actually think sales is the best business model to start with, but very quickly after doing sales, you should transition into being a scaling operator. And I'll show you what that looked like for me. So my journey to doing this 110K in 57 days is back in 2022. I actually first started with drop shipping, and I did it for like 2 days, but I don't even really count that. In 2022, I did affiliate marketing while I was sitting inside of my college dorm right here, and I made a little bit of money, but I was always hitting some sort of income ceiling. And then I transitioned into doing appointment setting and closing, which was the same thing actually. It allowed me to make a lot more money, but I continued hitting some sort of income ceiling because the business that I was working in, sales wasn't our main problem. We were doing great in sales. We weren't getting enough leads, though. Our offer wasn't differentiated enough. We weren't scaling with paid advertising. These were the issues that we were facing trying to grow our business, not sales. So I was doing my part, but the business wasn't growing. And then what I did is I started partnering with businesses as a scaling operator, because when I did sales, I got a good idea of how to fix some of the other problems that the business was facing. And this allowed me to focus on helping coaching programs grow with content creation mainly. So we mainly first started just by helping people improve their content on social media, mainly with TikTok and Instagram. And then after that, we started installing appointment setting systems into these businesses. So we would take somebody, they would have some sort of expertise, some sort of coaching program, whether it's fitness, real estate, whatever it is, and we would help them improve their content on social media by creating scripts for them that would convert well based on research of what's worked well in the past. So we could literally just, if somebody was selling some sort of fitness offer, we could go and look at other creators that were creating fitness content that were doing really, really well. We would model their videos and recreate them for that person, script them out, and then that person would film that video on TikTok and Instagram. And once they started doing well, and once they started growing their social media account, we started installing appointment setting systems inside of their business to where people would go in and convert the followers that they were getting into sales appointments. And then we also started, once they kind of hit a certain cap with creating organic content, we started teaching and building paid ad systems inside of these businesses. And basically, we gave them everything that they needed to grow their business and make money. And here's some quick examples of what this actually looks like. Like Zach here, what's up, boys? We already have 6 book calls from the TikTok messaging. So it's like, we helped him improve his content on TikTok. We installed an appointment setter inside of his business, and he starts growing his business. Like that's an example here. Then we also have Dane making 22K in a single week because we helped him create an audience on social media, create some offers to them, install appointment setters inside of their business, and they started crushing it. So the results are a handful of clients. We were working with like 5 to 10 clients usually on a month-to-month basis. And the way that we operated at the time, this was all the way back in 2022. So we were still charging people up front, like the outdated model. I actually really wouldn't even do that anymore. So some would pay like 10K to us up front. Others would pay a small fraction of that. They would pay like 2K or 3K, and then they would also give a percentage of their business. That's where the rev share model comes into play. And this is what allowed us to hit 110K in 57 days with just me, one other team member, and one other virtual assistant that was helping us with some small mundane tasks that they could do. I was working like 25 to 30 hours a week, and we had scalable systems that allowed our clients to keep growing, keep making more money, and therefore paying us more money. And I vividly remember it at the time. I was in Mexico with me, my business partner, which was the team member, and 2 other guys that we were actually working with. They were our clients at the time. And we would just wake up every day and grind for like an entire month while in Mexico. And it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. So how can you do this? Like, what does this actually look like on paper, and how do you get started with something like this? So basically, step 1, if you're a beginner, you need to acquire skills. This is the number one thing you need to focus on. Fuck business models, fuck all this stuff. Just literally learn skills. The first skill that you should probably learn is the skill of sales, and you should do setting or closing, probably setting as a complete beginner. You're going to do this and you're going to learn the sales processes that businesses use by being active as an appointment setter. Once you kind of get a good idea of it, you want to advance yourself by learning even more skills. Learn skills like copywriting, learn skills like emails, landing pages, VSLs, content. How do you get good at this stuff? Here's a little secret for you if you are in this process here, or even learning the skill of sales. Use AI. Like, AI knows all of this stuff and it can teach it to you if you ask it the right prompts. Use AI to your advantage to build these skills and practice. Then you can build funnels and systems, and then you can learn how to create better offers. If you can get really good at these skills, you will become irreplaceable in the market. You will never have to worry about money ever again because you are so damn valuable to the market that you will constantly be getting paid, especially as the creator economy keeps growing. Then once you understand these skills, you need to actually start, working with clients and actually making money. So the first thing you need to do is that you need to identify ideal clients. Now, your ideal clients as a scaling operator are usually going to be businesses that have made a little bit of money, but they have so much more potential. So an example of this is like the offer that we were working with that taught people how to make money with wholesale real estate. It was a guy that already had a ton of experience with wholesale real estate. He already had an offer. He just wasn't getting very many clients to it. I think he was getting like 1 or 2 at the time. And I'll explain this more in depth in a second. But he was really only making like 10, 20K per month. And that's perfect because he has proof of concept. Like, he's already made a little bit of money. He's not a complete beginner, but he also wants to go bigger. And he has everything in place with our help that can allow him to go bigger. Then after that, you want to use the value first outreach approach. So when it comes to doing outreach on social media, a lot of people do this wrong. They're lazy, they don't put any effort in, and they just copy what everyone else is doing. And as a byproduct, they become commoditized. They're just like everyone else. And then when a business owner gets a DM from you and you're just like everyone else, what are they going to do? They're going to ignore you just like they've ignored everyone else. So you want to actually lead in with value. An example of this is something like, hey, John, I was watching your recent video and I think after looking inside of your business, I think XYZ could be improved. Cool if I send you over a video explaining this in more detail. Then you want to do the personalized Loom video method. And I've talked a lot about this for landing sales clients. It's the same exact thing though. Your goal with a personalized Loom video is to provide value and demonstrate that you know what you're doing. You can't really do this through a text message. It's very hard to do. And then lastly, you need to position yourself as a partner. So you're not positioning yourself as somebody who's going to sell them something, somebody who's going to coach them, somebody who's going to mentor them. You are positioning yourself as somebody who's going to go inside of their business and partner with them to help them grow. And here's an important note for anyone watching this video right now that might have questions. After myself, working with hundreds of coaches, course sellers, myself as a scaling operator, I charged most of these people money up front to work with them. There were a lot of people at the time that I said no to that wanted to work with me on a rev share basis. You as a beginner, there are literally hundreds, thousands of clients. You can 1000% land a client on a rev share basis. Considering for me, I wasn't even that good and I had all these people wanting to work with me. Even if you have like little to no experience, you can 100% land a client on a rev share basis. And then once you get some experience in the door, then you can maybe start charging up front, or you can just charge more rev share. And then step 3, once you start working with your clients, this is where you're going to help them grow. And at this point, you basically just take a look at their business, you figure out what's stopping them from growing, and then you go in and solve that. So this might be content on social media. This might be their funnel systems. This might be their sales team is garbage. This might be their ads suck. Just a little secret here, use AI to your advantage. Like, you can literally capitalize on the creator economy that's growing like crazy right now, and you can use AI to figure out what's stopping them from growing inside of their business, and then you can go and solve that. This makes you infinitely valuable. Basically, using AI, you want to solve any constraint that would stop your client from making more money. It's this simple. And the ironic part is, for me, when I was doing this stuff, AI wasn't even really a thing. So you guys doing this stuff now, like, you have every advantage you could ever ask for. So here's an example of what this actually looks like for a client that you can work with. So for me, I started working with this guy named Zach Booth. Zach Booth, again, is a guy that teaches people how to make money with wholesale real estate. Starting point for him, wholesale real estate coach. He had about a $5,000 offer, and he was trying everything to get clients at this point. He was trying creating podcasts. He was trying YouTube. He was trying ads, Facebook groups. I think he was even like posting content on like Pinterest or something, but nothing was really working for him. Or maybe it was working a little bit, but it wasn't to the level that he wanted. What we started implementing is we went all in on short form content. We went all in on TikTok and Instagram. And I started working with him to create short form content scripts for his videos on TikTok and Instagram that he could use that attempted to go viral. Obviously, some of them did really well, some of them not so well. But the point is his social media started growing. So the results is he started growing really fast on social media, but this doesn't directly mean that he was making more money yet. I mean, he was making a little bit more money at this point, but after he started to grow, I think at first he was at like 5K followers, then he started growing to like 10, 20K. After that, we started implementing an appointment setting system that could talk to all these followers every single day and book the right ones in for a sales call. And then we helped them as well optimize their sales process when they started actually taking these sales calls so that they could make more money. And the results for him in his business allowed him to scale to over $100,000 per month, really just using TikTok and Instagram and making 80K in 2 weeks, just because he got some outside help with some of the things that he was trying but struggling with. We doubled down on TikTok and Instagram, and he started crushing it. And we charged this client $5,000 per month, but you can imagine what a revenue share could have looked like if we charged him like 10% of the 100K per month, for example, or whatever, but we were just only doing upfront at this point. So now, here are some common questions I get about being a scaling operator that I want to address and I want to make sure you understand. So a lot of people say like, this sounds too good to be true. This is not too good to be true, because the reality is this is going to require a lot of work and a lot of you building skills and learning things. And if you're not ready for that at this point in your life, then I give you the opportunity right now to click off this video. If you're looking for something easy, if you're looking for something where you're going to put in no work and make a ton of money, you can go watch these other dumbass videos that don't keep it real with you and don't teach you how to actually make money. That's fine. I will just warn you in advance. If you keep looking for the easy way, the easy solution, the easy way to make money, you're going to remain stuck because there is no way. Okay? This is not overnight success, but this is faster than you trying to build your own audience or trying all these other business models that require thousands of dollars up front, like drop shipping or whatever. A lot of people say the market might be saturated. Well, the reality is there's more and more creators entering the market every single day. So yes, there's probably more people becoming a scaling operator than there was a couple of years ago, but there's a massive increase in demand of there's more and more and more course creators and coaches coming out every single day. So while the supply of scaling operators might be increasing a little, the demand for your services is increasing way faster. So it doesn't even really matter. If there's more people trying to do it, but then there's more of a demand, it ends up working itself out. You might be also saying like, I don't have any special skills, and that's okay, because the reality is you have to learn these skills. Like, nobody enters a business model like this knowing exactly what they need to be doing at every single stage. You must go in expecting to learn skills and expecting to challenge yourself. And a lot of these skills as well can be learned in like 30 to 60 days. So as long as you aren't, desperately trying to make money this second and you're willing to play it out over the course of a couple months, then you'll be good. It's more about implementing the actual skills, learning them, than it is about like your talent. So the next steps for you as a beginner is like, you need to first learn one core skill. I recommend sales. I think that's the best way to get your foot into the door of making money online. You can learn the skill of sales, and then you can start applying that skill of sales as an appointment setter. You can do that for 1 to 2 months, maybe even less. As you're doing that, you're going to want to learn additional skills, and you want to use AI to do this. So if you start doing sales, you're going to start working inside of a business. That business is likely going to be struggling with other things outside of just sales. And then you can use AI to help yourself learn that skill so that you can help that business grow. Then you're going to start to learn how to find ideal clients. You're going to start doing outreach to land potential partners. And once you start getting a couple clients in the door, like, you'll start taking off because your first client is your hardest client. Then you're going to deliver results to that client. You're going to negotiate rev shares, and you're going to start rinsing and repeating that process for 2 to 3 to maybe even 5 to 10 clients every single month. But you don't need any more than that. So the final thoughts is the scaling operator model works really well because you're directly tied to client results. Unlike a regular 9-to-5 job, like, the thing about a 9-to-5 that sucks is you might be the best employee for the work you do. Your coworkers might be shit, but you still get paid the exact same. For something like this, you get compensated based on how well you perform, which means you can control your own destiny. And this is exactly what you need to eventually break out of the rat race and become financially free. You need an opportunity to where you can actually get paid based on what you deserve and how you perform. You can also start this with minimal investment. The only investment you might need is like actually learning some skills, which usually costs something to actually learn and develop skills. But it's an investment because you make that investment, you learn that skill, and then that skill allows you to make more money, right? The skills are transferable to any other business, and you're positioned well for the creator economy boom. So this is exactly what I would do if I was a complete beginner. So if you made it this far in the video, you're probably thinking one of two things. Either this sounds interesting, but I'm not sure where to start, or you're ready to go all in. You're ready to fast track your results and start making money. Here's the thing. I've spent the last 2 to 3 years perfecting this business model of being a scaling operator through trial and error. And I've now distilled it into a step-by-step system and process that just about anybody can follow, assuming you're willing to put in the work and you are willing to learn new skills. If that's you, you'd be a perfect fit inside of that one-on-one coaching program. And inside of there, this is what's provided. First off, I'm going to teach you all the skills you need to actually have confidence and faith that you can actually go and start applying some of the principles I've shared in this video. Then after that, I'm going to show you how you can acquire clients. I'm going to show you the processes that my students have used to land $5,000 to $10,000 a month clients within their first 30 to 60 days, even if they're just complete beginners, but they have skills. Then I also show you how you can negotiate rev shares and actually get paid well for the offers that you land. And then I show you as well how you can use AI to supercharge all of this so that you can go inside of these businesses and actually make them more money so that you get paid well. Plus, through this entire process, you'd be getting one-on-one access to myself where I will help you solve any specific problems or struggles that you face throughout your journey. With that being said, though, it is one-on-one coaching, which means for me, I can't go out and work with thousands of students at one time, which means for this month, I'm only working with a limited number of students because I personally review everything and give you everything you need to actually succeed. So if you are serious about building high income skill sets and making your first 5 to 10 to 20K per month online, click the link in the description and jump on a one-on-one free consultation call with me where I will see first if I can even help you. And if you want to see a more detailed video of me breaking down my entire story step by step, you can watch this video here that will go through that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.